وسلاسل الإمداد. وفي هذه الجلسة تحديداً راح نستعرض أو نتعرف على شركة أسمو، وهو مركز يعتبر الأول من نوعه في خدمات المشتريات أسمو. وأكيد راح يعطينا تفاصيل أكثر عن هذه الشركة الأستاذ داوود، الرئيس التنفيذي التجاري لأسمو.
Does that sound okay? Shukran. Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon. It's absolutely a pleasure and a privilege to share this stage with so many supply chain visionaries, and also to be here in Riyadh, a city firmly established as a global hub for innovation and transformation. Firstly, as a huge football fan, I'd just like to warmly congratulate Saudi Arabia on the recent award of the 2034 World Cup. I think we're all part of the squad, and we really, really look forward to that. So, a brief introduction. My name is Dan Wood. I am the Chief Commercial Officer, very proudly, for ASMO, the new joint venture between Saudi Aramco and DHL. I've had over 25 years of experience working in supply chain, mostly with DHL, across all different continents, navigating diverse and complex supply chain challenges, and solving some extraordinary problems for our customers around the world. We've also watched the industry evolve at a quite astonishing pace. I'd like to see a show of hands. Who here has experienced a supply chain disruption? A missed shipment, a missed pickup? I think if there's people with no hands, I think there's some fibbers here, but thank you, Andre. Yeah, if it's a procurement delay or a misstep in inventory, just think on that and the associated ripple effect that one small hiccup has had on your business, that of your customer's business, or that of your customer's customer. Profitability, long-term growth plans, and customer satisfaction are all impacted and are at risk. These challenges are becoming more frequent, more complex, and commonplace. And you could argue it took a pandemic for us to realize, as supply chain professionals, that we're actually an essential part of everyday life. I think we only notice when things go wrong how important we are. Okay, if we look at the news, these challenges are not hypothetical. They're real, and they're changing every day. The question is not if your supply chain will be disrupted, it's actually when. Supply chains are navigating through storms of change, storms of challenges, and they're not happening in isolation. It's all part of a global shift and transformation that are reshaping industries and economies everywhere. Now, let's zoom out and have a look at some of the key trends that we feel are changing the global landscape. I think my colleague earlier on said, was it AI or die? From a digital transformation point of view, technology is absolutely revolutionizing logistics. I think we all see that. AI, blockchain, and automation are not just tools, they're becoming the backbone of modern supply chains. I think traditionally now we saw it as an add-on. Now, contemporary thinking is that it's digital by default. Secondly, geopolitical tensions. We've all noticed the impact of trade wars, of regional conflicts and shifting alliances. Then they're rewriting global trade routes and forcing businesses to rethink their supply chain strategies. Thirdly, the impact of climate change. Climate change, we feel every day, whether that's extreme weather events, whether it's rising temperatures, or shifting natural resources. They're all forcing supply chains to adapt in real time. Now, businesses must build systems that are not only resilient, but also adaptable to environmental stability and the volatility. Lastly, the globalization versus localization issue. Now, the balance is really shifting. Businesses are investing in regional supply chains to reduce dependencies on global networks and enhance their agility. I think it'd be interesting to look at some of those challenges and how we turn those into opportunities. Global trends have put supply chains to the test, but they've also created new opportunities for us ready to lead. And you see that no more in focus than in Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is uniquely positioned to transform those challenges we just saw previously into growth opportunities through strategic initiatives and investments. Now, I'm pretty sure that everyone's familiar with Vision 2030 and the National Transport Logistics Strategy we heard about this morning. These initiatives, coupled with the latest investments, very savvy investments, and groundbreaking projects, are all driving toward one ambitious goal, and that's to position Saudi Arabia as a global logistics hub by 2030. Now, what really warmed my heart was watching this morning the momentum and all the signatures and how many people were involved, and they make up this $267 billion figure that we've seen in terms of the investment in the logistics sector. Through that $267 billion investment, Saudi Arabia is prioritizing modernization, it's leveraging cutting-edge technology, and creating seamless connectivity across global markets. Its strategic geographic location, positioned at the crossroads of Europe, Asia, and Africa, makes it that natural hub for global logistics. The recently launched Supply Chain Resilience Initiative, the GSCRI, just launched last month, is a prime example of forward thinking that creates a future-proof logistics ecosystem. And lastly, key projects such as the Red Sea Global Port and, of course, ASMO are key in achieving these ambitious goals. So that brings me to why I'm here. And I'm very proud to be the Chief Commercial Officer for ASMO, and I'd like you to watch a short video that explains a little bit more about what we're up to.
ASMO is born, inheriting DHL's logistics excellence and Aramco's extensive supply chain ecosystem. Here to bring reliable and market-leading end-to-end procurement and supply chain services to redefine the energy, chemical and industrial sectors in Saudi Arabia and the MENA region, all with a click of a button. As a visionary in procurement and supply chain, ASMO extends beyond the present. forging success, one link at a time.
It's terrific. I think I've seen that video 3 or 4 times, but for me, it fills me with an enormous sense of pride and, yeah, just in terms of the ambition in the project, but also what we've achieved since we incorporated at the beginning of the year. I think what truly sets us apart as ASMO is not just the strength of the partnership between the 2 parent companies, but it's about the people. A very talented bunch, very driven, very passionate individuals from diverse backgrounds, whether that's from Aramco, whether that's from DHL, or whether it's their external entities. We're all working together towards a shared goal and vision. So as I said, to give you some context, we're only a year old. We were officially incorporated in February this year, which was a significant milestone for us. But we will be announcing something really quite exciting at the forthcoming ICTIVA event in January, which underscores our commitment to localization and innovation. But enough of my pride. It will come out. I should talk to you a little bit about what ASMO is doing and how we're intending to go about it. Our vision is to become the leading supply chain service provider for the energy, chemical, and industrial sector in Saudi Arabia and also into Middle East and North Africa. Our mission is to provide reliable, world-class, end-to-end supply chain services, which creates value for companies in the energy, chemical, industrial sectors in that region. If you look at our end-to-end supply chain service, as I said, we have the shareholders in Saudi Aramco and DHL. ASMO will be the focal point for customers to access an optimized supplier base, enabling carefree procurement decisions through intuitive, automated technology and customer-centric processes. At its core, ASMO is the first of its kind procurement and supply chain services hub. But what does that really mean? It means that the end-to-end supply chain services go beyond traditional logistics. Obviously, pulling procurement into that model is groundbreaking. But we are creating a seamless, efficient, and resilient system that drives the business's success. And as we heard from our colleague this morning, this is a key enabler of Aramco's supply chain strategy. The integration of expertise from Saudi Aramco and DHL combines deep local insights with a global operational excellence. And ASMO will serve as that single point for accessing that optimized supplier base, enabling straightforward and sustainable procurement decisions through intuitive automated technology and customer-centric processes. Our approach is seeking to simplify complexity and consistently deliver value. Now, you'll see some entities on the left and the right-hand side of the value chain. This certainly is not an exhaustive list. This explains where ASMO fits, and it illustrates our comprehensive capabilities, which I'll go into in a bit of detail shortly. From the initial purchase order to the final delivery, every detail will be meticulously planned. You know, our supplier network on the left-hand side, you can see, includes some of the most reputable names in the industry, but that forms a robust foundation for the ASMO operation. And our services cater to a diverse customer base. You can see on the right-hand side, Aramco and certainly some of the affiliates, as well as other energy companies that are in focus. If I drill down a little bit into what ASMO's activity will be about, from the first instance around supply and demand harmonization, this seeks to manage seamlessly the push and pull and ensures resilience and robust management of the supply and demand. In terms of sourcing and procurement, this is ensuring that the smart purchasing decisions and procurement best practice is leveraged from both organizations. In terms of inventory management, which is absolutely crucial, this is where we work on where the inventory holding needs to be strategically placed, the right quantities in the right locations at the right and the right right places to store those materials, and also to manage our excess stock. So if there's excess stock holdings or inventory obsolescence, that's something we will look to manage out. including obsolescence. The control tower, this is the single point of contact where we give the requisite visibility and transparency, ensuring that real-time decision-making is applied. Supplier management is something very close to my heart. I spent early part of my career focused on this. We think as well within ASMO, this is absolutely crucial to inject discipline in this part of the value chain. Ensuring the suppliers know how they should supply, in what quantities, what's expected of them. And that's, as we mentioned before, that's the end-to-end supply chain. Third-party management, logistics contractors. So obviously ASMO will not be owning all of the logistics assets within the operation. There will be management of third parties. Reclamation management, putting robust processes in place to unlock value in terms of the reclamation. And lastly, what we're really, really excited about is the advent of this, what we call B2B e-marketplace. So this is effectively connecting digitally buyers and sellers and assisting us with the circularity drive. There's a big element of greening here. Okay, so in terms of what do we expect from the ASMO model? So we're committing to enhance efficiency and productivity sustainably, and that's by adopting eco-friendly practices and innovative technologies that minimize the environmental impact. We aim to reduce costs and inventory levels in the broader supply chain of Saudi Arabia's energy, chemical, and industrial sectors, whilst promoting digitalization and aligning with the fourth industrial revolution to progress towards a greener economy. Our strategies fit perfectly in line with that of 2030, and they're designed to support the Kingdom's environmental strategies and targets, and ensure that every step we take in advancing industrial capabilities also contributes to a more sustainable future. In terms of the value buckets there and sustainability buckets, you have on the left-hand side the procurement. Of course, procurement in terms of buying smarter is key, but with also economies of scale. You're buying on behalf of a bigger group of entities. We therefore unlock economies of scale, and we foresee significant procurement savings through that. But we also see the functional cost as a percentage of spend being amongst the lowest in the industry. We think between 1.2 to 1.4%, which is really market leading. The inventory optimization bucket in the middle there, this is through, we see a significant value in terms of the pooling effect, and this will impact resource efficiency. We've also looked at the potential to offload working capital through inventory inventory financing through off-balance sheet solutions, and we're looking into that. From a supply chain operations point of view, we're looking towards a significant saving from transport optimization through a consolidated transport and optimized route, as well as the warehouse optimization through consolidating the network. I'll show you a little bit about what the network will look like. There are 3 new builds that ASMO will undertake, 3 sizable builds, one in Spark, one in Jubail, and one in Yambo. Overall, ASMO will have a footprint of about 8.5 million square meters. This doesn't include the central pipe yard, which is a significant undertaking in itself. We will also leverage legacy infrastructure from Aramco to ensure that we're well positioned to support the growth that we foresee coming. So a significant real estate play, significant part of our business is in building new state-of-the-art facilities that will have state-of-the-art lights-out automation within those facilities that support the MRO warehousing and distribution. A bit on the numbers. So as we walk towards 2030, we will bring our employee from what's about 120 employees at the moment to 3,500. The inventory procured, we forecasted around $10 billion, of which 500,000 items will be managed. As I mentioned, approximately 8 million square meters, which really propels us into the stratosphere with respect to warehouse provision in the Kingdom, 300 units of material handling equipment, whether that's forklifts, but also, as I mentioned, the automation within the facilities. We're looking at AutoStore, which my solution designers have done an awful lot of work to get that to a place we're comfortable with. 1,500 vehicles and one control tower that will be managed out of the new headquarters in Dammam. So a little bit on our roadmap. As I mentioned at the beginning, we inaugurated in the 5th of February, early this year. In October, we secured 16 MOU signings, and we think we'll be in a position to announce a further 5 or 6 at the forthcoming ICTIVA session, which is planned for January of next year. We've also established our headquarters in the Asharkiya Chamber Tower in Dammam. So it's nice to feel everything under one roof and actually start, it's really nice to see the teams coming together from the different parts of the businesses. The Aramco Go Live will be in Q2 of 2025, with the affiliates going live subsequent year. So that's a bit on our roadmap. I think it's important we add here as well our role in Vision 2030 and beyond. Firstly, to drive that economic diversification and industrial development. I think it's really great to feel like you're part of what we all spoke about this morning. The fact that there's an investment being made, significant investments in the supply chain infrastructure, and some of the things that we're doing in the warehouses is absolutely leading class. Empowering the private sector and SMEs. Obviously, with respect to our procurement activity, we'll be looking to purchase locally, and the localization drive, particularly around people, is crucial as well. And also enhancing logistics and supply chain resilience. When we think about some of the things that we heard about, the challenges, I think we've all this year had to deal with more than one challenge, and I think pulling that together and managing that through the control tower is absolutely critical. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's ASMO. If you'd like to discover more, please click on the 3D barcode here, and please follow us on LinkedIn. And thank you very much for listening.